Your bank account says $214,000 more than it said 14 months ago, and nothing about your Tuesday has changed. You still buy the store brand coffee. You still park 2 blocks away from the gym to avoid the $7 lot. Nobody who looks at you would guess it, including, most days, you. It starts with a dryer, specifically the one on the end at the laundromat on Route 9. The one that's had an out-of-order sign taped to it since March, written in Sharpie by someone who clearly didn't expect it to still be there in June. You go there sometimes, not because you need to, but because your apartment building's machines eat quarters and give nothing back, and there's a strange calm in a room full of spinning windows. You start noticing the same 3 or 4 people. You start noticing that the owner, a heavyset man named Gary who wears the same gray fleece regardless of season, is almost never there, and the place still runs. You look him up. Not stalking, just curiosity, the kind that turns into an afternoon. County records, a business license filed 9 years ago. You find out the building sold for $340,000 in 2015. You do a number in your head, then a better number. Then you call the number on the handwritten sign that says owner financing available, half expecting no one to answer. Someone answers. It's Gary. He talks for 11 minutes about drain lines and coin mechanisms before he mentions a price, and the price is $61,500, 12% down, and he'll carry the rest at 6% over 5 years because, in his words, banks don't understand laundromats, and I don't have the patience to explain it to them. You put down $7,380 of your own money 3 weeks later, standing in the same room with the broken dryer, signing a bill of sale on top of a folding table someone left behind by the vending machine. Nobody claps, nobody knows. You drive home and eat the same dinner you would have eaten anyway, and the feeling isn't pride and it isn't fear. It's something flatter than both. Something closer to noticing a door you didn't know was unlocked. 6 months into owning the laundromat, the machines are clearing $3,100 a month after the water bill, and you haven't fixed the dryer with the sign. You've just started ignoring the sign the way regulars do. That's when you meet Denise, who runs a vending route out of a storage unit in Marlton and is retiring because her knees won't do the routes anymore. She has 14 machines scattered across break rooms and laundromats within a 9-mile radius, and she sells it to you for $22,000, machines included, because, she says, I'd rather sell it to somebody who'll drive the route than let it rot in an auction listing. The route nets you $1,850 a month once you learn the restock rhythm, which takes about 7 weeks and 1 ruined shirt from a leaking soda line. There is no marketing budget for a vending route. There is no brand. There is a clipboard with restock dates on it taped inside a cabinet nobody else will ever open. Next comes the parking lot, 11 spaces behind a dentist office that closes at 4 p.m. and sits nearly empty on evenings and weekends, half a block from a stadium that hosts 19 events a year. You lease it from the property owner, a soft-spoken man named Fareed, who inherited the building and has never once visited the lot in person, for $400 a month flat. On event nights, you charge $25 a car, cash only, using a folding sign you bought for $14. 19 nights, 11 spaces, you clear roughly $4,200 in a single season for a total investment of exactly 1 folding sign and a lockbox. Nobody has ever asked to see your business card at a parking lot. By month 11, you own 4 small billboards on a stretch of county road nobody photographs for postcards, bought individually from a man named Walt who inherited them from his father and has no interest in the sign business, for a combined $58,000 across 3 separate purchases spaced 4 months apart. They rent to a regional HVAC company and a personal injury attorney for a combined $2,300 a month. No tenants to evict, no toilets to unclog. You finally sit down with an accountant, a woman named Priya who has done books for small business owners for 19 years and doesn't blink once during the whole meeting. She adds it up, the laundromat, the route, the lot, the signs, types for a while, then turns the screen towards you and says, You know none of this is exciting, right? That's not a criticism. That's the whole reason it works. You meet Trevor at Priya's daughter's engagement party because apparently everyone in this ecosystem is somehow connected to everyone else. Trevor drives at least Range Rover he mentions twice in the first 4 minutes, wears a watch he explains without being asked, and tells you he's in real estate, in a tone that suggests the sentence should end the conversation rather than start one. He asks what you do. You say, "I own a laundromat," and watch something in his face relax, the specific relief of a man who thinks he's just found the room's floor. You let him think that. You don't correct him, don't mention the route or the lot or the signs, because there's a particular usefulness in being underestimated. People stop performing around you, stop trying to sell you anything, start talking like you're not worth impressing. Trevor's lease is $1,140 a month. Trevor's watch is financed. Trevor's net worth, if you had to guess from the actual math instead of the visible signals, is a fraction of yours, maybe a tenth, maybe less. The truth of it sits there, unspoken, the whole rest of the night. The car tells you what someone wants you to believe, and the folding table tells you what's real, and almost nobody in this room can tell the difference between the two. 3 weeks later, your younger brother Miles calls about his transmission. It's $2,800 he doesn't have, and you have it, sitting liquid, no thought required, and for about 4 seconds you almost just send it. But you know Miles, you know that a check makes the problem disappear without making him any less likely to end up here again in 8 months. So instead, you drive out on a Saturday, and the two of you spend 6 hours with a borrowed lift and a video tutorial, and you teach him what a torque converter actually does, while grease gets under both your fingernails. It costs you a Saturday you don't get back, and something else too, a kind of loneliness in choosing the harder, quieter form of help, watching him struggle instead of just making it stop, a feeling with no clean name for it. Miles fixes his own car 11 weeks later, alone, the second time it acts up, and calls you just to tell you that. 14 months after the folding table, you're standing at a hardware store on a Tuesday, the fluorescent kind of Tuesday with nothing scheduled after, holding a receipt for $34 in PVC fittings for the laundromat's water line when your phone buzzes with the monthly summary Priya's software sends automatically. The number on the screen is $214,000, not revenue, not some inflated valuation, but real, countable net worth built since that first bill of sale, sitting quietly next to a shopping list that says fittings, quarters, drain snake. This is the same feeling, exactly the same, just with more zeros. The flat, ambiguous non-feeling from the folding table, unchanged by 4 extra digits. Nobody in the store looks at you twice. The cashier, a teenager named Dante, who's clearly counting down to his shift's end, rings up the fittings without a word beyond the total. You drive home. You still buy the store brand coffee. You still park 2 blocks from the gym. Tomorrow, the dryer with the sign will probably still be broken, and you'll probably still let it be. And Miles will probably still call just to talk instead of to ask for anything, and none of it will look, from the outside, like anything at all. So what is it actually for? The number nobody sees, the wealth that changes nothing about your Tuesday, if not to be seen.